Warm greetings to all our viewers. You're tuned in to Royal Telly, and I am your host, Chloe. We're here to celebrate and support the incredible work of the Sussexes, to shed light on the narratives spun around them, and to provide a platform for balanced discussion. Whether you're a Sussex supporter, a media critic, or simply curious, we're glad you're here. Stay with us as we delve into the latest controversies surrounding Meghan and Harry. Once again, the British press and the royal courtiers are back at their favorite pastime, painting Meghan and Harry in a negative light. The narrative is as old as time itself, with Meghan being portrayed as the manipulative villainess, Harry as the whipped prince, and the monarchy as the innocent bystander in this soap opera of royal life. The word whipped, once a term of endearment, is now being thrown around like confetti at a wedding, used to mock and belittle a man who prioritizes the well-being of his wife and children. Let's break this down, shall we? Harry, a man who stands up against toxic abuse, who values emotional health and personal freedom over the constraints of outdated institutions, who is a beacon of equality, racial justice, and fatherhood, is being ridiculed. Ridiculed for doing what? For doing exactly what a real partner, a real father, a real man should do. This narrative is like a broken record stuck in a loop, endlessly repeating the same tired, worn-out story. It's as though they're trying to convince us that up is down, black is white, and that a man putting his family first is something to be mocked. They are trying to mock a man for doing what a real partner should do. Can someone make it make sense? This hate campaign dates back to the moment Meghan Markle entered Harry's life. Before the engagement, before the wedding, the press and the palace saw her, and they were threatened. The palace feared her because she was different, because she was outspoken, because she was unapologetically herself. And so they mobilized courtiers, royal correspondents, tabloid editors, all working in tandem like a well-oiled smear machine. Their goal, break them up. And when they couldn't break them up, they tried to break her down. They fed the narrative of the manipulative Meghan, the diva duchess. They painted her as the villain. All the while, Harry stood by her side, defending their love, defending their family. But here's the plot twist that they didn't see coming. Meghan didn't break. Harry didn't fold. They stood strong in the face of adversity. They fought back against the hate, and they did it together. They didn't just survive, they escaped. They left the firm, the institution that had become a prison, and they did it together. They chose freedom, they chose love, they chose each other. And that, my dear viewers, still burns them. Because not only did Meghan leave the institution, Harry went with her. Willingly, joyfully, without regret. He chose his wife over his royal duties. He chose love over tradition. He chose his family over an institution. That's not being whipped. That's being a man, a husband, a father. And it still burns them because they failed. They failed to break them up. They failed to break her down. They failed to control them. And so they continue with their hate campaign, with their smear tactics, with their lies. But Harry and Meghan are stronger than ever. Their love is stronger than ever, and that's the truth they can't hide. Not only did Meghan leave the institution, Harry went with her, and that still burns them. The whipped narrative is rolled out again, this time by royal commentators like Esther Krauke. You know the drill, the same old arguments, the same old vitriol. Meghan, they claim, thought she was marrying a billionaire. She didn't understand the royal role. She wasn't interested in the job. It's all so predictably banal. But let's call it for what it is. This isn't commentary. It's character assassination. It's strategic revisionism. An attempt to bury the truth beneath layer upon layer of misogyny, racism, and bitterness. It's a smear campaign designed to distract from Harry's upcoming lawsuit, an attempt to shift attention away from the palace's own transgressions. Remember the last round of litigation? Those email chains, the behind-the-scenes briefings, the casual cruelty exposed under oath? The tabloids and their royal enablers were caught red-handed orchestrating hit jobs, using Meghan's private messages, exploiting palace access, and leaking false stories to paint her as difficult, diva-like, and manipulative. And now, as another court date looms, the same tactics return. But here's the problem. They're not fooling anyone anymore. We've seen the playbook. We've seen the machine at work, churning out the same tired narratives, the same worn-out accusations. But the world has changed. We're not the same audience that once lapped up these stories with unthinking fervor. We've grown wise to the machinations, the manipulations, the calculated attempts to control the narrative. We've seen the truth laid bare, and we're not about to forget it. So let them roll out their whipped narrative. Let them try to paint Harry as a puppet, Meghan as a manipulator. Let them try to convince us that their version of events is the truth. But we've seen behind the curtain. We've seen the machinery of the smear campaign in action, and we're not buying it. As another court date looms, the same tactics return. But here's the problem. They're not fooling anyone anymore. We've seen the playbook, and the world is watching. The world is watching. And what an intriguing spectacle it is. It's a drama that unfolds in real time, drawing the attention of millions around the globe. The characters, a prince, his wife, and an archaic institution that seems to be stuck in a time warp. And the plot? Well, it's a classic tale of love, defiance, and a quest for independence. But let's not forget the most important character, the world. Yes, the world is watching, and it's watching with a discerning eye. No longer are we willing to blindly accept the narratives being spun by the British press and royal courtiers. No longer are we willing to sit back and watch as Meghan and Harry are vilified for daring to live life on their own terms. So the press has labeled Harry whipped for defending Meghan. Interesting, because if Harry is whipped, then what do we call Charles? A man who it seems has been steamrolled and repackaged for Camilla's agenda. But the world isn't fooled. We see the double standards at play. We see the hypocrisy. Harry chose love. He chose to protect his wife. He chose to prioritize his family's emotional well-being over the expectations of an outdated institution. And for that, he's ridiculed and mocked, but we're not laughing, we're applauding. Because it takes courage to stand up against the tide. It takes strength to say enough is enough. And it takes a real man to put his family first. The world is watching. And we're not just spectators, we're participants. We're part of the narrative. We're part of the change. We're part of the movement that says, we're not buying it anymore. The world is watching, and we're not just watching, we're learning, we're growing, we're evolving, we're standing up and saying we won't be fooled. We're standing with Harry and Meghan, supporting their right to live life as they see fit. The difference, we're not buying it anymore. The world is watching, and we're not turning a blind eye. We're standing up, we're speaking out, and we're making sure our voices are heard. Because the world is watching, and we're not just spectators. We're participants, we're part of the narrative, we're part of the change, and we're not buying it anymore. That's the controversy for you folks. In this whirlwind of narratives and counter-narratives, it's important to remember the core of the matter. A man, Prince Harry, is standing by his partner, Meghan Markle, against a barrage of abuse and character assassination. This isn't a sign of manipulation or weakness. Instead, it's a testament to his strength, his love, and his commitment to his family's well-being. Let us not forget the hate campaign that began even before the wedding bells rang. The smear machine, fueled by fear and prejudice, tried to break them apart, and when that failed, attempted to break her down. But Meghan and Harry didn't break. They didn't just survive. They escaped. Together. This narrative of Harry being whipped is not only derogatory, but also a desperate attempt to shift the focus from the real issues at hand. It's a strategic revisionism, a character assassination designed to bury the truth beneath layers of misogyny, racism, and bitterness. The world is watching. We've seen the playbook, and we're not fooled anymore. If standing up for your partner, prioritizing emotional health and personal freedom, and walking the talk when it comes to equality and justice makes one whipped, then let's redefine what it means to be whipped. In the end, it's not about who's whipped or not. It's about standing up against the toxic narratives and demanding fairness and respect. It's about refusing to be part of the problem and choosing instead to be part of the solution. As we move forward, let's remember to look beyond the sensational headlines and seek the truth. Let's stand in solidarity with those who dare to challenge the status quo and fight for a better, more inclusive world. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Royal Telly for more updates on the Sussexes. This is Chloe signing off. Stay safe and stay informed.